Hi, everybody. Adventures with Roxanne here. And today I just thought, let's try something new. Let's see how long I can do this, how many weeks I can keep this up. We're going to be crocheting. And we're also going to be talking about crochet cruises, yarn, spinning wheels, more yarn, knitting and crocheting. So if any of my friends that are out there that may watch, you're welcome to come up. Whether you knit or crochet or not, just come up and keep me company. So, but right now, if you're wondering what I'm making a hat. This is out of some, I don't even know the yarn anymore. I lost the label. But I'm just making a fuzzy little hat. Y'all see it? There it is. So, yeah, no one's here. Who knows if anyone's going to show up, but I don't care. I do care, but I don't care. You know, I sent out notices. We've got till about 7:30, before the next thing comes on, before the spotlight comes on tonight, where all our friends show their videos they put on there to be highlighted this week. I may do one next week. I don't know. But we're just going to crochet for a little bit. Yeah. When people come in, we'll talk about some of the other things. Until then, let's just crochet and talk and chat. What are you working on? What are you crocheting? Are you knitting, crocheting, tatting, spinning wheel? Are you macrameing? That's yarn too. You can macrame with yarn. I've got a macrame purse I started, I don't know how many umpteen years ago. But yeah, and then my hat that I make, you have to have at least, this is a double crochet. You have to have at least, for a grown up, anywhere from 54 stitches around, all the way around, to 56 stitches all the way around. So we're gonna see how many I've got. If I've got it off count. If you're going to so many rows and you just, I don't count every row, but I count about every fourth or fifth row and see how many I'm making sure I have the same amount around. Well, when I do that, if I get off and I only got 54 and you start out with 56, don't pull it all out 5 or 6 rows. Just go into a couple of, go into the same space and put another one in there. Crochet a couple more, put another one in, and you're back to 56. Nobody's going to notice. And when you start out at the top here, you need anywhere from 10 in the center to 12. It doesn't really matter. You can put 14. And then you increase around and around. You increase till you get up to the number 54, 56. Now, if you're making it for a child, I would say 52 to 50. So, and there's no rhyme or reason how you increase it. I mean, if you're going by a hat pattern and you want to increase it the way it says, go right ahead. But I just increase one stitch, and then the next one I put 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, until I get to the amount I want as I go around. So, and yes, you do have a starting point at the, so let's count them. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 20, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. So I've got 57, and I started out with 56, so I went one too many. And if you went one too many, it ain't gonna matter. Sometimes, but you just want to, you don't want to increase too much. So somewhere along the line, I've increased one too many, wasn't paying attention. Now, if you want to make a bigger hat like that, what they call a baggy hat or a kind of beret kind of hat, yeah, you increase until, yeah. So, anyway, all right, close this up. There you go. So I do 3 up. Of course, I 3 chains up. And then I go over. That's 2. And you just keep going all the way around. Now, I've got yarn here. I could show y'all how to start a hat if you want to see that. Anybody wants to see it? Hi, Jeremy. Hi, whoever's here. Welcome. But I put the link out there if anybody wants to come up. Or if you just want to learn to crochet. But when I get a few more people in here, if they show up, I'll show my screen of the crochet cruise that I found. It's a page that talks about where you can learn it's a crochet knitting cruises. Did y'all know they were out there? Yeah, the crochet crowd is a guy from Canada, actually Nova Scotia. He moved. He's over the line in Nova Scotia. But he's a big crocheter. Works for Card, not really. I don't know if he works for Card Yarn, but he represents Card Yarn. He was representing the Red Heart, Joann's, but all the Joann's are gone, so I don't know what store he's representing now. He's a big crocheter. He does knitting tutorials, crocheting tutorials. He only learned to knit himself in the last 3 years or so. He semi knew how to do it, but he really picked it up in the last 3 years. But he's more a crocheter than a knitter. Yeah, his name is Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. And he does cruises too, and he's got a cruise coming up in November. So I haven't been on a crochet cruise because I don't know if I'd love to crochet, but I don't know if I want to go on there and spend all my time crocheting. But then I found out you don't spend all your time crocheting and knitting. Some of Mikey's on one of them, he went on. I remember a couple of years ago when they landed at a certain port, they went out to a yarn shop. And I don't know what yarn shop it was, but they went out to a yarn shop. So, but they do have they have dinner together, and they also have, it was at night, they had crocheting. You got together and crocheted as a group, and he taught you some stuff. I mean, there were prizes given out, and there were goodie bags. So, and then there are other crochet and knitting things. There's fiber. Fiber is using the animal fiber, alpaca fiber, yarn fiber, wool, sheep, goat, buffalo. All that is fiber. Now you can buy all that in your Michaels and Joann's. If you look at your labels, you will see sometimes that it's made out of silk. Silk is a fiber. You will see sometimes it's got wool in it. Wool is a fiber. You might, in some of your specialty crochet stores and knitting stores, you're going to find buffalo yarn. You're going to find alpaca. You're going to find camel. You're going to find llama in your specialty stores. So, but there are yarn, and I've been to a couple of yarn. I've been to more than a couple of yarn shows. I've been to, let's say I went to the um, crochet yarn show, the crochet magazine, and then I went to the knitting magazine yarn show, and then I've been to Asheville, North Carolina yarn show and fiber show, and I haven't been in a long time. And I said I need to get out there and do some more things. So I'm thinking maybe checking into either a cruise, because I left the cruise now, with a yarn knitting crochet cruise. I can knit a little bit, but I don't know on those 2 needles. I don't know when I'm knitting or purling. I don't know. I don't read knit patterns. I can read a crochet pattern, and I can do 85 to 90% of most crochet patterns. Been crocheting since I was in the 8th grade. My mom said she taught me, but I don't remember her teaching me. I remember we had clubs we had to go to, and the club that I went to was I went to the crochet and knitting club, and the first day we went, she gave us first 2 weeks or so we were just learning about it, and she gave us a needle, and it was a plastic crochet needle, and I still have it somewhere. Light blue, anyway, and she gave us knitting needles. Well, I tried to knit, and then she gave me the crochet needle, and I started doing it, and she said, "Here, you're a better crocheter than you are a knitter." I don't know if that deterred me from knitting, or just that I got good at crocheting, because I've made hats, I've made blankets, I've made I did make a couple of stuffed animals in my day. I've made a dress. I've made a bathing suit cover up. I've made sweaters. I've made pullover jack sweaters, button up sweaters. Let's see, I've made scarves. I've made baby clothes. I even made baby booties that are shoes. What else have I done? I did a bunch of granny squares and made a granny square blanket. When we first learned to crochet, the first thing we learned was a granny square. And most people teach granny squares because they're one of the easiest things to crochet. Yeah. They're one of the easiest things to crochet. So, let's see. And I've made hair bows, crocheted hair bows, little, you can get the sewing, not sewing thread, but the stretchy, it's like the stretchy sewing thread, like elastic, but it's a little bit different. You can hold that with your crocheting if you want to make something elastic and make your headbands with it. They do have it they used to have it on the spools of your, like a spool of thread, but it was elastic, and it was like sewing thread, but it was elastic. They used to have that. I don't know if they still make that or not, but if you can just, and when I'm crocheting, say, I've got this other yarn over here. This is I don't even think they make this anymore. This is a 1 pound card, I think it's card, yeah, CARON cardon yarn. You can take this and hold it together with this that I'm doing, and you can crochet, and it will give it a thicker consistency. Now the hat that I'm crocheting is more for looks. It's not, it could be for warmth, but if I was crocheting one to give to the homeless, I wouldn't do a double crochet. The reason I do a double crochet is because it's faster and gets your crochet done faster. So, but if you want to make them for the homeless, I would do just maybe a half double. A half double is where you wrap it around, pull it, push it through, and go through all three of them at one time. That's going to make it a little bit tighter of a crochet. But for this one, double crochet, you're gonna need, depending on the size of your head or an average head, you're gonna need from this point all the way down to this point. You're gonna need 15 rows. And if you want it smaller, you're gonna need 12. But if you want it big enough to cover your ears, about 15 rows, 14 to 15 rows. Now, if you're making I don't know what they're called because I'm not Jewish, but if you're making a Jewish hat, one of those little hats that go on the Jewish head, this is I would call this quits on this one. And you think, how's it going to stay on their head? Well, did you not know that most of those, they have some bobby pins in them to hold them on their head if they're crocheted? They think so, well, you can't see them. So that would be, is it called a Yom Kippur? I don't remember what the name of the little hats are, or beanie. I don't know what it's called. But let's see, how many rows do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 9 rows. So yeah, 9 to 10 rows for a Jewish hat that the men wear at church, or they wear it all the time. I've seen them. So yeah. So you just keep pushing it in and keep going. See, I'm back at the beginning, so almost. Now you can go at the beginning when you chain up. You always chain up 3. Well, you can go into the third one and go in there and pull it. But on the very beginning, I don't go into any of them. I just do a slip stitch and pull that down and chain up 3 more and keep going. Now, if you're doing a half double, you only need chain up 2. Now you can do, so you're doing this double around, and you decided you wanted to make your head look a little bit different. You can go and put a chain up 2 and start doing half doubles, or you can chain up 1 and start doing singles. Singles is a much warmer hat because it's tighter together. So, and a homeless person still would wear this. It would just be a little more breezier in the winter if they're not inside. But I'm just making this for fun. Well, one day I said, I have nothing. I was bored. And so I picked this up last week and started doing a hat, and I put it down. And so, does anybody want to come up? You're welcome to come up. We're going to stay on at least an hour and crochet and talk. We're also going to look at the prices of yarn from Michael's Yarns tonight. I will pull that up if I can get it to show. Or I'll just read it out to you. But if you're into a more sophisticated yarn, then you need to go to your local yarn shop. What I mean by sophisticated is that the yarn shop yarn, if you're buying alpaca, wool, buffalo, silk, if you're buying something other than the blends of wool that you get at Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby and your AC Moore, those kind of yarns, a lot of them can be wash and wear. Delicate wash, dry, and some of them won't shrink. In other words, they're easier yarns to work with for kids to wear, for parents who are on the go. And They don't want to take the time to take this fancy hat or that fancy sweater, wash it by hand, lay it flat to dry, stretch it, So that's their specialty yarns are a lot at a lot of your yarn shops. Now your yarn shops, a lot of them are going to carry the what I call the carden, the Crayola, what's some of the others? Carden, or what? Just your everyday yarn. They're going to carry your everyday yarn. So for now, we're just gonna keep crocheting and crocheting and crocheting. But I may one week I may pull out my spinning wheel and show and do some spinning on my spinning wheel. So if y'all are in the background watching, could you at least leave me um a like, a thumbs up, comment. You want to come in anonymous? That's fine. Is there a way to come in anonymous on YouTube? I don't know. But anyway, just leave me a note saying, hey, I was there. I was busy working with my sister and my aunt. I was out I was out to dinner. But I was listening in the background. Just leave me a message. It helps my algorithm. Because I found out something yesterday. I'm monetized, but not really monetized. Hey, Controversial Cruising. You want to come up, you can. You don't have to be a crocheter. You just have to be a keep your shirt on kind of person. That was hilarious last night. Very hilarious. So that's why I thought since y'all were being shirtless last night, I'd be a hooker today. Yeah, I thought let's do some hooking today. Let's show everybody what a hooker is. Yeah, only those they made you do it. Yeah, right. Something interesting looking at all the four men. Some are hairy chests and some have no hair on their chest. I said, woo! So anyway, it was fun though last night. Even though my computer lets me get the answers in too late, sometimes I said, oh well, it's fun. It's all in fun and games. Whether you win a prize or not, it gets people having a great time. Yeah. I got my new desk put together that I bought from IKEA. Well, no, I didn't get this one at IKEA. I got this one at Wayfair. I looked up the kind of desk I want. I wanted a desk, the new ones that have the plugs at the top and the USB and the C. I wanted one like that. And I looked up one, and it came up on five or six different sites. It came up from Walmart. It came up at, I think, Target. It came up on Amazon and eBay and Wayfair. And I looked up at Walmart. I said, Walmart's closest. It'll probably get here the fastest. Well, they wanted $25, $30 to ship it. And I said, not paying that price. So I said, let me look at the next one. Same one, next price. They all wanted anywhere from $25 to $30 to ship it. And I said, I'm not paying that. So I went to Wayfair, and Wayfair had free shipping for the same desk. But the one thing I don't like, that I didn't pay attention, is when I put the desk together, I didn't know you could put together as the drawers on the left side or drawers on the right side. What am I making? I am making a hat. Right now, it's what do they call it? Whatever the Jewish religion is. Right now, I could stop and it would be one of those for them. But I'm going to keep going because I don't have a Jewish friend that needs a hat. I do see a couple of Jewish guys around Douglasville. I think one's a rabbi. So, but I don't know them, so I wouldn't. So we're just crocheting a hat, and then when I get through crocheting this hat, my yarn is stuck. But I hope this should be enough to finish a hat. And then I've got white over here. I did have a bunch more yarn than I do, but I had a little creature get in the house named a moth, and the moth got into my fiber. And I had some real good fiber and yarn get eat up by moths, and I had to throw it all away. I'm talking about hundreds of dollars worth. So everything that I got now did not get eat up by a moth. A moth will not eat silk. So I got silk fiber to spin into yarn. I've been doing some silk fiber for the last couple of years on it, or maybe longer. All right, let's see what people are saying. All right. I crochet, but I haven't crocheted blocks and don't know what to crochet. Well, if some of y'all want to start coming each week, we can get together and figure out what you want to crochet. Now, talking about the Crochet Crowd, he does on his show, and he's a real famous, big in the yarn industry person. He has showed you some of the places where they make the yarn and all. But they have a monthly, I don't know however long it takes them to do it. They have you can buy his kit and you're all crocheting the same thing. Or he'll tell you what colors to get, and then you get his pattern. It's not free, but you buy the yarn and y'all crochet together. We could do something like that. We could all start a hat together. A hat for me from start to finish is a regular beanie. Doing it in double crochet, about 2 hours. So, but if there's something you want to make, find the pattern and we'll go over it together. But and if you run out of yarn, like if I ran out of this yarn and it's not going to be big enough, I could take this yarn here, since it's almost the same color. It is very close to the same color, and I could add this to the bottom, and it would just be a different kind of hat. Be a two-toned, two different texture hats. So. And they used to say that if you're using two different kind of yarns together, say if I'm holding two yarns together, they're two different things, one might wash up different than the other. So you have to be careful with that, or either just wash it by hand. Now this, I'm sure, is somebody probably got it at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Home Goods has it. Is it Home Goods? No, At Home. Our At Home used to have yarn, but I don't think they do anymore. Some of y'all may live in an area where y'all have an AC Moore. I've never been in one, but they're sort of like a Michaels, and they're supposed to have a lot of good yarns. Hobby Lobby has good yarn. But I don't buy a lot of the Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michaels yarns much anymore. I want it used to, I did buy a lot of it, but I got to where I wanted the better yarns. But right now I'm just using up what I've got. I want to, just make it, use up what I got before buying any more. But the yarn show I went to in Atlanta, Georgia was called Stitches South. And we no longer have yarn show in Atlanta because of the last one I went to in Atlanta. I think it was maybe it was either 4 or 6 trucks, box trucks with their yarn and all their stuff that they hadn't brought in. their extra stuff and everything that wasn't brought into the show were stolen. Right in next to the airport convention center. It was just stolen right out of the parking lot. And so that made the people of Stitches magazine decide they wanted somewhere safer to grow. So for a while there, they had stopped them, and they had a virtual weekend where they all got together, say, I don't know, a Zoom call or just like we're talking here, and he would talk and introduce himself, and then if you signed up for any classes, you had a link to go to your classes, and it was a virtual. But and they told you the supplies you had to buy and everything for the class. And when you go to a yarn show and you go into classes, your teacher will have all your supplies, but you usually have to pay for whatever you're making. But there are some classes that I went to one where we were making. What were we making? Scarves? Something I hadn't done before. But anyway, I had to bring my own yarn. But she gave you a supply list. And one of the other classes I went to was learn how to work on do a spinning wheel and fiber, how to card fiber and spinning wheel stuff. But the lady that was doing it, I knew more than she did. And some of the ladies were, "How do you do this?" So I got up and started showing her how while she was working on some of the other people, because it got more. I stayed in the class, but unless you had not crocheted or knitted in years and you want to take a refresher course, go ahead and go to the yarn show and take a refresher course. There's beginning yarn, beginning crochet, beginning knitting, beginning spinning, beginning. You know what tatting is? Tatting is a little needle. It's making lace. Like I had a tatting thing at one time, but I don't remember anything about it. I don't tat. There's also learn to tie dye your yarn. Learn to dye your yarn or tie dye it. I had at one time a bunch of yarn dyes, and you can't dye acrylic. Acrylic has to be done at the factory. It's too many chemicals and processes. You can't dye acrylic. You can buy dye for dyeing cotton, for dyeing alpaca wool. There's different dyes for different. Like if I'm doing cotton, has to be a cotton dye. If I'm doing wool, buffalo, alpaca, llama, camel, any of that can be dyed with the other dyes. I used to have a bunch of it, but I don't know if I've used it all up or I'm just out. I don't know where it's at. You can also dye with Kool-Aid. But dyeing with Kool-Aid is the dye. You'd have to use a lot of dye, a lot of packages of Kool-Aid to get the really color you want. Because Kool-Aid fades over time. It will stay in there, but it won't be as bright and as vivid as you started out with. So that's with the Kool-Aid. But I had, like I said, I had a bunch of dyes and I can't find it. Let me get back around and then we'll go. I'll show you the website that shows cruising. I don't know what cruise ships they are. The Crochet Dude, Crochet Crowd, his are usually Carnival, if I remember right. And he's got one coming up November the 14th. think it was a 7 or 8 day cruise. And, I thought, well, let me see if I want to do one or not want to do one. Because I want my time to have fun on the ship and to go to the ship shows and stuff. So when they do those kind of things, I think he tries to make it where he's not interfering with a big show or something. And they do get off the ship together sometimes and go visit yarn shops. And or I know one of my other ladies I used to watch, she goes to what's it called? Not Australia. Where does she go? I want to say Spain, but that ain't it either. Wherever a lot of sheep are. Well, anyway, this is a land tour. And you go on your land tour, and she takes you to the different farms. Scotland. The Scottish areas over in there. Those lands. She's been to Scotland. And I said, one day I would love to go with her on her tour and go see the different farms. Now, if you got an alpaca farm or buffalo farm near you, call them up and say, hey, can I come see your yarn? Can I, your fiber? Can I come see your animals? And some of the places that have it will have fiber and yarn for sale. We've got a couple alpaca farms in our area. That land's for me. What? Yeah. But, some of your local farms will let you come and see their animal, and they may have some for sale. Just ask them. And I was in there's also knitting and crochet guilds or guides, whatever you want to call them. It was a guild. I was in the Peachtree Hand Spinners. It was a spinning group, and there were several people in our group that had farms, and they would take their fiber and either sell it as is. Hi. They would take their fiber as is and sell it, once they sheared it off the animal. Or they would take it and make it into roving and sell it like that. Or they would take it and make it into yarn and sell it to you. So just keep an eye out for your local yarn places, yarn farms, and yeah. In Alpharetta, Georgia, I think it's Alpharetta, we have a yarn shop. I've never been to it, but we have a big yarn shop. Douglasville does not have anything but Michael's, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. You can also, you used to could find crochet yarn at, what's the name of the store? Big Lots. Big Lots went out of business. Now, you can find some sometimes at your local grocery store. Sometimes might have it. I've seen it at Aldi's before. I have seen it at, I don't know the name of the store. Not a big Kroger, not a big store, but I've seen it at little stores. I also seen some at Ollie's. Ollie's has yarn. I've never seen any at a Michael's or a Ross or anything like that, but just keep an eye out. You never know what you're going to find in your local little stores. We have a store in Carrollton, Georgia. It's called Ross. No, not Ross. Robertson Salvage. And Robertson Salvage is where I went and got a lot one time. I've still got the yarn put away. Yarn, some yarn factory store, big yarn store, went out of business, and they bought all of it. And it was, when people heard it was there, me and my friend said, hey, Robertson Salvage has high quality yarn right now. So we took off up there and bought too much. And I bought some that I don't like really thin yarn, but some of this was thin. I can do it, but it takes me longer. Hey, Crochet with Lulu, welcome. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Scotland, yeah. Are you from Scotland, anybody? But one day I want to go to that Scotland tour. I think she goes every year or every other year. I'm just counting my stitches to see if I still got 56. 30, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 8, 9, 50, 1, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. See, I got off again. I've got 57 now. Oh, I know why I got off, because I'm at the end. And I put it in the end hole. You got to watch that. Sometimes I will accidentally go into the end hole. Yep. So, yep, this is the end. So, yeah, I'm going to take what you can do if you don't want to go all the way back around and take half of it out is you slip stitch into this one, into this one, and now you're back to 56 stitches. And nobody's going to notice that you've done that unless you do it a lot, unless you mess up a lot. Howdy, Crochet. Howdy, Darren. Do you or your wife crochet, or your daughter? Come on up. Come on up. There's the link again. Put it in the chat room if y'all just want to come up and talk. I'm gonna be here. What time does the spotlight start tonight? Can you? I don't know if I got any mods here or not. If I do, can y'all put the link in? I don't know if Darian's no. I don't have any mods here. I don't think. But we're gonna crochet until I use this yarn up. Oh, I don't know military time. Which is that's 7 o'clock. Yeah, I think all just members are here. I guess Danny's out having fun. And my other one is Ark Wildman. He's one of mine, and I haven't I didn't take him off because he's a real good mod, but I don't do much of his places anymore, but he's still a good friend. So, anyway. I don't know if it's been a month or not, but I can give away $9.13. I guess at 7:30. I don't know. I really don't know military time without sitting and counting in my head. You know, 12 is 1, and you go from there, and I don't know. But y'all are welcome to come up and say howdy. Talk about anything you want to talk about. But we're not taking our shirts off today. I can take my shoes off. We're just hooking today. Oh, that was hilarious last night. Anyway, for those who don't know what hooking means, hooking refers to your crochet hook. This is your crochet hook. They come in all various sizes, from giant to small to here. Let me get a big one. I've got a couple of huge ones that are right here, unless I've lost them. Here it is. That's a big one. This size right here, you would use it to make a rug with a big, bulky yarn. Or you can make one of those big, fluffy blankets. So you need the big yarn. This is not yarn, but this is something else that I've done here in the past. This is macrame. And one day I'm going to finish this purse. I started it probably 20 years ago or more. But this is macrame yarn. And you can find it in some stores. Macrame went out of style, but it's coming back in a little bit. You buy your purse handles and you macrame. If y'all know what sailor knots are, you learn them in Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Or if you're a fisherman, you got to know your sailor knots. So that's one of the other things I do. And I'll show you some of my fiber. I think this is wool. I'm not sure. I don't think it's alpaca. I think that is wool. And this is dirty wool because it comes with the poop. You got to comb it out. You got to wash all this, and I haven't washed any of it. It's just in the bag as is. Let's see if I can pull out something else. This right here is 100% silk from Japan or China. And they have big silk farms, and this is the natural. This is one of the natural colors. Silkworms make a whitish to creamish color silk yarn. And this is I'll show you this is black silk. And they dyed this, but it is a black silk for my spinning wheel. So that's black. Let's see what else I got down here. This is an old spool thing of yarn. It's Berroco, Stanley Broco. This right here was at our spinning wheel group. This is rug making yarn, but you can make hats with it or sweaters or whatever you want. But this is rug making yarn. Now, if you live close to where we have Dawsonville, Georgia, and they make rugs, that's where they make your rugs in Dawsonville, Georgia. At one time, you could go up there, I don't know which company or factory, and you could go in and they would sell you some of this a couple of times a year. So, what else about that? And I believe this is more, this right here, this Tangle Mess, that's the end of it. This is a shiny. This is what you call cone yarn because it comes on a big cone. Who's that peeking behind my chair? Nobody? Is that my chair? I can pull it up. What do you say? That's my... It must be an angel. Because I've got it tilted down because I got my new desk. My desk is taller than my chair that I'm sitting in. So I got a computer chair. I just got to put it together. So, but this is more rug yarn, I believe. It's cone yarn. And it's got a shiny tint to it. I don't know if y'all can see it. But it's got a little bit of a metallic thread in it. And then I've got way over yonder on the other side of the room, I've got more yarn. And this is another fuzzy yarn. I don't even know what company this is from. But you can make a hat with this, which I might do later. And then I have another big needle. I don't know the size without looking. It used to say on here somewhere. It probably does, but anyway, this is another one for making, with thicker yarns. You'd have to have probably This is stranded over 2, make it 4. You'd probably have to have it at least 6 for thick, something pretty thick like this for this needle. But I bought them at one time. Was making just you go to yarn shows, you go to your Michaels, your Hobby Lobby, and you say, "Oh, they have knitting needles on sale, crochet needles on sale." You might have 2,500 at home, but you're gonna buy another one, make it 2,506 or 7. You're gonna buy more. You're gonna buy more, and that's just I don't know who else does it, but that. And then they have something else that's even fuzzier. I don't remember the name of this, but this at one time was it's caught down there. This is what you call the eyelash yarn because it looks like hair, eyelashes. They call it. I think this is what one of those they called eyelash yarns because of the thickness. Oh yeah, my stuffed bear. Yeah. One of those stuffed bears my husband gave me. One of them I won at a yarn show. One of them's the Beverly Hillbillies song. If it still plays it, I don't know if it does or not. But I'll be back every week. I think I'm gonna do this every Friday. Well, every Friday. And I don't know if I told y'all the story, but I was talking to my friend who's helping me try to get my YouTube going. And he said, "You're monetized, but you're not monetized." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You don't have 4,000 something hours." So I haven't looked it up. I got to figure it out. I have the hours to be got the papers sent to me last year and a half ago, to sign up to be monetized. I got all that. I filled it all out. So I thought I was actually monetized. Well, I'm not monetized to get a lot of ads or to get ads, is what he was kind of telling me. I don't understand it. So I've made like $53 and something. But all that's coming from my memberships. When I give out a membership, that's increasing my pay. Or when someone buys a membership, that increases your pay. So I'm gonna go and see if I can give out memberships today. I don't know. Scott. When is your membership up? Does it say? I don't know how long you've had your membership because I know it was what I gave out. Let's see if I can go to my channel. I don't have. All right, I'm gonna go to my channel so I can get to the membership part. Okay. I'll go down to the dollar sign. If you don't know how to do this, go down to your dollar sign under the chat. Hey, Megan. And it says memberships. Membership gifting. Go to the membership gifting, click on it. All right. Send gifts memberships free of charge. You have 10 gifts memberships left to send out. All right, so I started on the 14th. Mine started over today. So I'm gonna give out 10 memberships. Because if I don't give them all out at once, I forget. And then let's see who got a membership today. Lisa D, Hats on a Mission. James Bartolome, I can't pronounce the name. Amethyst Hayes got it. All right. Now I'm going to go back to the dollar sign again. I'm going to give out all 10 of mine at once. Because if I don't, I forget. I could spread them out. All right, let's see who else got a membership. All right. Ohio Travel got one. Special T got one. Danny got another. Hey, Danny. Got another one. And Dawn, somebody got one. And Appleins got one. So if you see your name, congratulations and thanks, you know. So, yeah, I've got members that have come over. And do you know all your members? I don't. I don't know all my members, so. But we'll be on a few more minutes because I want everybody to go over and here, let me go back and I can make someone a mod. Who wants to be a mod? I need mods that's going to be here. Well, not all the time, but would like to be here, but I don't remember where to give out a mod at. Let's go back to my YouTube studio. I think it's where you give them out at. Or do I just click on their name? I think you just click on their name and make them a mod. Let's see if I can do it that way. Let's see if I can go up and see. All right, let's try. Let's try controversial cruising. I don't know how to do it. I can do Darian's. And it ain't let me click on your name. Alright. Add as moderator. Okay, I can add you as moderator. Managing moderator. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to add a few. You don't have to be here. It's just that when I come on sometimes, I have no mods, and I need some mods. I need more mods. That way, the ones that are here can put out your link. Or I did have a Nightbot, but my Nightbot went to sleep about a year ago, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to get back into it or do it. So, anybody want to show me that, you're welcome to. Hey, Yoda. Yoda's here a lot too, so I'm going to add you. I'm just going to add a few. And I'm just doing all managing mods. This is just as easy, so a standard mod. So, all right, since I got a bunch of people in here, let me go back and share my screen. I'm going to share my screen and show y'all what I got up, if it'll show up. I got the Michael Cell ad. I hope y'all can see that. But Michael's is having a summer spring sale right now. Y'all need yarn? They're having but it's not showing the yarn. It had the yarn page up, but I lost it. But let's see if I can find yarn. I had the yarn up, but it. All right. Let's see what it shows. Let's see what's on sale at Michael's this week. Michael's this week has this off classic yarn for $3.99. It's 30% off our regular everyday price. And then they have the Sweet Snuggly yarn. That's a Chanel looking yarn. It's $9.99. And then they have assorted skeins of acrylic set. I don't know how many you get on that one. It's $17.99. You get all those colors there. And then you have your classic cotton yarn. It's on sale for $2.99. All right, but now I want to show y'all the knitting. Let's stop that one. So whatever your local yarn says, we're going to present again. Share a screen, and it's just in the rain here again. Crochet cruises. All right. I just typed in crochet cruises and got this site. It is y'all want to? I'll copy and paste it in the room. If anybody wants to go there, it's got featured cruisers. It's got knitting cruises, knitting land tours, crochet cruises, past crochet cruises, needlepoint cruises. Yeah, I forgot about needlepoint. Hand spinning cruises. There's bead cruises where you can learn to bead. You can add beads to your crocheting. What you do for that one is you string them all on before you start your crocheting. And you can do it after you've done your crocheting, but it's a lot easier to string. If you string too many and you don't use them all, that's fine. If you don't string enough, then there is a way to put them on there later. But I'm gonna put this in the room. Anybody wants to go look at it, I thought, well, we talk a lot of travel around here. Let's see if we can get some travel with a cruise about a crochet and knitting, spinning. Now I wouldn't mind doing one, but I don't want to spend all my time at the crochet and knitting stuff because I love to go gambling. I love to get off the ship just to go down to the port area because if I'm understanding ports right, that 95% of your ports, there's going to be some kind of little shop there, whether it's one shop or a bunch of little stores. So, I like to get off and look at the shops and everything. I've only been on one cruise, excuse me, but we went to Notchikokum, and Notchikokum was okay, but at the time they had that hurricane come through, and it was about a 2-foot drop, about half my size drop to just get down into the water, and then the water was so rough that day I fell in the ocean, and it's so funny. Try to see Michael Ann, the nurse, she was trying to get me up, and so was Sharon. And it was just I was just sinking deeper and deeper. And this guy on the shore comes running. He said, ma'am, can I help you get up? He said, I'm trained at it, kind of thing. I think he was paramedic, EMT. He really didn't say, but that's what we all suggested. Hey, Big Time Fun Daily. You got my membership. Welcome and thank you. But he showed me, he said, I'm going to put my arms around you and pull you up. And I said, okay. And he's a good looking man, muscle good looking. But then his wife on the shore saying, way to go, honey. And I'm going, oh, he's married. So that was that. So, like I said, crocheting is my fun time when I decide to do it again. But I think I'm going to start picking it up at least every Saturday, 6 o'clock. If that doesn't work for some people, I might change it to 6:30. But I want to be off in the next 10 minutes or so everybody can have their potty break. Because I don't have any of those potty break things. So they don't show me how to put some on there. Go right ahead, So, I don't have any videos and don't know how to do it off StreamYard. But they have Christmas crafting cruises. I didn't know that. Crafting cruises for kids, frequent ask. I didn't know they had a lot of this stuff. But I do know that Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, who I don't know if he I think he works for Carden or Red Heart Yarn and all that. A lot of the yarn companies, they're all coming out of the same factory. Just one day it's called this and one day it's called something else. Company. Your yarn one day might be Walmart yarn, or it might be Hobby Lobby yarn. But he's taking a cruise in November. I thought, let me check into that. I might want to do a November cruise. I don't know yet. Don't know where it's going or anything. But he also may be full. Because when these crocheters or knitters or fiber groups announce they're doing a crochet or knitting cruise, a lot of them book it up fast. And they make good friends for life off of it. I want to go on a Disney cruise. But I need to find one that's not an arm and a leg. You know, I would love to go on a Disney cruise. I've been looking at them. Are you going on one? Maybe we can go on together, your family and you know, because I'm coming down to Florida in December, and I'm going on a cruise. No, I'm going to see my daughter and going to Disney in December. So we're gonna have to message each other somehow. But I'll be down there. Yeah, they're too expensive, but they'll be fun to take. But I'll be down there December the 5th through the 11th, going to Disney. Staying at the All Star Music. But between now and then, I have an opportunity to go to is it Ocala, Florida? Yeah, Ocala, Florida, to Silver Springs with a meetup. And from there, I thought I might go down to either Universal or Epcot. I mean, not Epcot. The new Epic Universe. I might do one of those. I don't know yet. But on those cruises, I didn't really tell you what ships they are from. I guess I should have. I don't have it up anymore, but I can look and see what Panama City Canal cruise they got some listed. Here, let me open that back up again, and we'll look at the listed before I get off. We got a few more minutes. I don't ride a lot of rides, but I thought it would be interesting. I thought it'd be interesting to go. All right, here is one. 17 days Panama City Canal Inca Discovery Net Cruise with Beth Brown. That's November 17th through December the 4th, 2025. Then we got one, a 14-day hey, let's go to New Zealand and Australia. All right, we can go get Sean on the cruise and we can have a blast. It is February 1st through the 15th, 2026. Well, no, that won't work because in February 15th, I'll be on a cruise out of Miami, Florida. Anybody want to go with me? I got an extra bunk. You have to pull it down and climb up. Going to the ABC Islands. I got I can have one more person, but I'm not climbing up on a bunk that you pull out of the ceiling. I just can't reach it. But it's a fantastic room. I'm in a room that is 2 doors down from the elevators and 1 floor up from the casino and the dining hall, or whatever you want to call it. And I said, those are the three things I'm going to need because I'm not walking upstairs. Then there is April 18th to the 25th, going out of Portugal and Spain with Chris Bylsam, Bylsam. That's another one. 14-day knitting cruise with Lucy, whoever Lucy Neatby, Neatby. All right. See, some of these cruises, like the one going out of New Zealand, there are a lot of wool farms in New Zealand. So that you may be going there and getting off and going to see something. Learn new skills, meet new knitters. Let's see. A 7-day favorite Burgundy knitting cruise. May 14th to the 21st. It's a river cruise. Then there's one 13 days to New England in May. And a 14-day Midnight Sun Antarctica crossing cruise with Christina Drydale. No, I don't know what you're going to be learning on that cruise. And I guess it's a cross stitch, so it says crossing cruise. Don't know what that means. The 14th on 14-day Wild British Islands knitting cruise. So it goes on and on. You want to go to Alaska and learn to knit? You can go on an Alaskan cruise in August through September the 6th. Now, I've never been to Alaska, but I'm told about July, the whole month of July, end of June, last 2 weeks in June till about the August time is a good time to go to Alaska. It's not as cold, but once towards the end of August starts, Alaska starts getting colder again. So that's what I've been told. 14-day knitting cruise, Canary Islands. Oh, here's a Christmas market cruise. I've never been on a boat with a Christmas market cruise. 3 nights in Prague, 7 nights in Danube, Danube. And that's with going on the Christmas markets. I want to do the Christmas markets. Are anybody in? So, yeah, some of the rides probably break down. But from the looks of Big Time Fun Daily, from the looks of what I watch the people go to Epic, it's not, a lot of the rides are rides I would not ride, but the whole place looks fantastic. So I could bring my knitting and crocheting, and knit while I'm on my off days when my feet get tired. But that's what I'm thinking about doing, is figuring out maybe going to Epic Universe while I'm down there. They got specials going on right now. They've got a special that I thought about getting, and it's Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and the other park. It's not Walt Disney. $89 for 3 parks, which is not bad at all right now. But you've only got another couple of weeks to get that ticket. So anyway, okay, it's 7:15. We've been on an hour and 15 minutes. I was a couple of minutes late, but we're going to get off soon. Oh, something else I read today, and I meant to say it at the beginning, but I'll do it now while lots of people are here. I got up this morning, and I'm looking inside the trash can, and I said, oh, looks like I dropped some avocado. And I hadn't eaten an avocado in a couple of weeks. I said, it must have been behind the trash can the whole time. Well, I got a little closer and looked down. I said, that ain't an avocado. That's a green frog. I freaked out. I opened the back door and got the broom, and it went everywhere around my kitchen except the right place. And so finally, I got it and shooed it out. It hopped its way to the door and went back out. But I was reading that, let me look it up real quick, and I'll tell you exactly what it said. I was reading about green frog, all right. What does a green frog mean when it's in the house? You're going to like this. It's good luck. Okay. Let me find where it said. I said, I'll take more of those. Where does it say it? They're good luck. They also mean superstition behind the frog enter any home. You could also gently guide it back out. It has to be a natural frog. But what I read this morning, and it's not on this one, so I don't know where I read it at, but a frog can mean travel and adventure. That also means you might go on a cruise. I said, you can bring me a green frog any day you want, but not in the house. Bring it to the front door and let it turn around and go back out. But I said, if it's going to get me on a cruise, I'll take a cruise. With that good luck sign that I might be getting a cruise. So it did say on the one I read on my phone, and I don't have it open anymore, it did say there would be good luck for a cruise. I said, yay. All right. It's fixing to thunder and lightning again. And Darian, if you're still here, can you put the link up to the, or if anyone else has got the link to the all the shows thing tonight? I can't remember. My mind went blank. Spotlight. Can someone put the link to the Spotlight up? And we'll go over. Spotlight starts at 7:30. We'll go over there and watch your favorite people. I know Darian's got one out tonight. I'm sure Eric B's got one out tonight. Ralphie usually has one. Destination Delight sometimes has one. The couple from Georgia, North Georgia. No, they're from North Carolina. They have one, usually. So, anyway. Yeah. Put that up. Well, I'll go over there. Thank you, Darian. Well, I'll go over there and we'll watch the Spotlight. Darian's usually the last one. Most of the time he's the last video. So you got a lot to watch. Well, there's usually about 6 or 8. And I'm going to talk to you one day about how to get a video up there. Can it be just any video? Or does it have to be like a travel video? Or can it be just me talking in a house video? So, or I could make a video of the thunderstorm but it's just in the thunder here. All right, so everybody, y'all have a blessed night. We'll see you on the next one, maybe next week. Some of my friends that crochet or knit, or that don't crochet or knit, wants to come up and have fun with me. Come on up. I'll be here. You can always text me on my Facebook. If y'all don't have my Facebook, it's Roxie, RXIE, Hall, HALL, Yates, YATES. And y'all will find me there. So we'll see y'all on the next one. Bye, everybody.